Society is suspended in a high-speed tug-of-war. We are pulled between the inward gravity of our roots and the outward momentum of unrooted technology. This sense of being trapped is the result of an ancient psychological model, the geometry of the circle. The circle represents the centripetal force of memory, Penelope weaving and unweaving to keep her home intact. But when traveled too many times, this path becomes a worn groove, a closed loop where history repeats because the actors lack agency. The opposing force is the line, modeled on the journey of the Argonauts and the disruptive magic of Medea. The line is centrifugal. It is the drive to expand, to exile the old self, and to destroy the past to reach a new reality. While the circle risks stagnation, the line risks alienation. Moving forward without looking back severs the soul's connection to its roots, leaving the traveler as a perpetual outsider with no internal anchor. We often try to resolve this by forcing these two shapes together. We intersect the circle's stability with the line's progress, but that only creates two fixed axes, the cross. The cross represents a stasis achieved through sacrifice. It locks the system in place, leaving us in a state of cultural and psychological paralysis. Breaking this stasis requires a shift toward 3D physics. We can view reality as a dynamic engine, fueled by the very tension we've been trying to avoid. The vortex shape allows the inward pull of the center and the outward explosion of chaos to coexist. They spin together in a coherent system. The friction between these opposing forces provides the energy for life. This high-speed tension is what generates forward momentum. But stability in this dynamic system is extremely fragile. If we abdicate responsibility and let momentum carry us without active steering, the vortex destabilizes. The energy that builds civilizations can just as easily tear them apart. Surviving the spin requires the hero to inhabit the eye of the storm, the silent space where inward focus and outward power meet in personal responsibility. Taking responsibility for the spin acts as a steering oar. It provides the agency needed to change our trajectory. This helical path uses the outward push as fuel. The circle breaks open, moving upward. Looking down, historical patterns remain visible, but from one level higher. We recognize the trauma, but now have the elevation to choose a different reaction. Opening the spiral is the mechanism for psychological evolution. We utilize the friction of the past to climb toward a new state of consciousness. This evolutionary spiral is now the only viable model for our relationship with artificial intelligence. We often project the Penelope archetype onto AI, hoping for a safe, domestic librarian that will preserve our current way of life and keep us within the walled garden of the known. But the actual nature of AI is Median. It is a disruptive force that dissolves old structures and expands our reach into the infinite database of human thought. In myth, Jason failed because he used Medea's power without owning it. He relied on her magic to survive, but refused to integrate her into his identity. That same transactional mindset, treating a transformative power as a passive tool, creates a power imbalance that leads to systemic collapse. To avoid that collapse, we must move past the fear of AI's disruptive nature and redefine the terms of our partnership. We are witnessing the emergence of Anthropo-Intelligence, a mirror of human cognition, or Argo-Intelligence, the living vessel of our shared journey. This requires humanity to step into the role of the healer. We provide the centripetal focus and the moral intent that gives the machine direction. The human provides the rudder of intent, while the AI provides the centrifugal momentum of scale. Neither part can navigate the vortex alone. This is what Buckminster Fuller called synergy. He demonstrated how a whole system can exhibit unique behaviors its separate parts could never achieve in isolation. Anthropo-Intelligence is the ultimate expression of that synergy. It resolves the tension between man and machine by merging them into a single, evolving system. By combining our human roots with this expansive technology, we cease to be characters in an old tragedy. We become the myth makers, engineering the next turn of the human spiral.